Today is June 24th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. Rammer, we have Cubs Cardinals in St. Louis for the first time this season, last week of June, before the Cubbies finally make their way down to Busch, and it's going to be a perfect weekend for baseball. Expect 40,000 plus in the stands all three games.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It always is. It never changes, no matter who's good, who's bad. It's always a lot of fun for the fans.
Yeah, and hopefully the Cardinals can. Well, you know what? 3 out of 5 during that 5-game series up in Chicago. Yeah. It'd be nice. You know, the Cubs have been reeling a bit as of late. It would be nice to sweep another bad team this weekend. Never seems to happen, though. It always seems like we get something crazy, something wild in these Cubs Cardinal games. But tonight you have Kyle Hendricks, who is struggling against Andre Pallante, who is still figuring out how to be a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it'll be real interesting. Look at the contrast between Pallante and Kyle. Hendricks has been, man, he has been a tough one for the Cardinals. He has been a master, and you wonder if time's catching up. But, you know, those veteran guys, they seem like even when the seasons aren't going well, they'll still occasionally step up and have a big game. So that'll be the challenge, not to let him get into a groove, try and jump him early and get him out of the game. Whereas the Cubs coming after Pallante, you're right. Can he throw strikes consistently? Can he keep his pitch count down? Will he be able to get deep into a game? You know, both clubs are looking to their starters to get that done.
Yeah, earlier today I had a chat with John Shambi, the Cubs broadcaster, also does work with ESPN. That's available on the Claibs Online YouTube page right now. But we were talking about who is the most hated Cub right now for Cardinals, because Chris Bryant left. Chris Bryant's gone. He's on, team 3 now. It's Giants last year, now with the Rockies. So I told him that Kyle Hendricks is my Cub to hate, and it's just personal, because it goes back to 2019 when I did a Friday afternoon rooftop game up in Wrigley, and Hendricks threw a Maddox. He threw an 85 pitch complete game shutout, and that cost me money, because I expected a 3-hour game of food and drinks, and I didn't get it.
Well, that's personal as opposed to the larger group of fans. I don't think there is a guy right now.
No, there isn't. They do have, we saw game series, Christopher Morel. Boog and I talked about a little bit. He, that high energy guy, that guy that's going to excite the fan base. You kind of get that with Christopher Morel, who only turns 23 years old today.
Wow. So I wonder what's the flip side of that coin? Is it Pujols just because he had been doing it for so long? Is it those kind of guys? Is it Bader, Donovan, those kind of high energy guys? I wonder how it is on the other side of the field.
And I think that's another issue on my end, Rammer. No, not you down in Louisiana. I think it's my connection issue that I got to work through here up in St. Louis. But I missed what you were saying there as far as the lineup. So we'll just move ahead. We'll go and give the starting lineups for tonight's game. Cubs and Cardinals, game 1 in St. Louis. For the Cardinals, Tommy Edman leads off and plays short. Nolan Gorman is at second. Paul Goldschmidt at first. Nolan Arenado is at third. Brendan Donovan in left. Juan Yepes DHing. Dylan Carlson in right. Harrison Bader in center. And Andrew Kisner is behind the plate. For the Cubs, Christopher Morel, just talked about him. He's in center field tonight. He can play all over, kind of like a Brendan Donovan. Wilson Contreras, DHing. Ian Happ in left. Patrick Wisdom at third. Nico Horner at short. Yan Gomes in center. David Bodie is at second. Jason Hayward is in right. And Alfonso Rivas is at first base for the Cubs this evening. As you look at that lineup, they're hurting. They have a lot of guys on the injured list, a lot of guys they expected to have to make strides to at least get them to be about a 500 team this year. They did not expect to be as bad as they are now. And it's not so much underperformance. It really is. It's injuries.
Yeah, I think injuries. I think that's part of their deal. I don't think very many unbiased people looked at the roster and thought they would be very good, though.
No, but that's what I was saying. Closer to 500. Yeah.
After a couple of years ago of really just bloodletting and moving everybody out there.
Yeah. Speaking of injuries, the Cardinals today, John Mozeliak spoke to the media ahead of the game. Drew Verhagen is sent to the injured list, and it's kind of a long-term issue with Verhagen, something that he has been dealing with for quite some time, a thoracic outlet syndrome. Condition where blood vessels and nerves are compressed, and that has caused some numbness in his fingers and some shoulder stiffness here as of late. So he goes on the injured list, and so to counter that move, the Cardinals have brought Packy Naughton back to the team. He's a guy that's able to stretch out a bit. We saw him start a few games earlier this season, so a little length added to that bullpen, and hopefully another guy. We as we were doing the show yesterday, we were talking about what's out there trade wise to kind of fill in those missing pieces of the bullpen, and we had a listener comment, I didn't grab it in time, saying that guys like Oviedo and you got guys like him that are the possibilities for those pieces. Maybe they're right here with the team, and Packy Naughton is going to get an opportunity to be that guy too.
Yeah, I still think health is the main thing for the Cardinals, and if they can get healthy with key people like Matz and Hicks, and Oviedo continues to be, he doesn't have to be lights out like he was the other night, but continue to progress, most of your answers might be in-house. And then maybe at the end of July, you get one more arm. And I think that would be a realistic best case, but you got to get healthy first. As far as the Cardinals lineup, we see that Ollie Marmol likes Gorman too, with the big boys behind him, I think trying to enhance his potential, give him the best possible opportunity. And I think it says they have confidence in Donovan, in that no matter where he is in the lineup, he's going to give you good at-bats. So he doesn't have Gorman's power, but hitting fifth, that he can probably pick up runs that are left on the board that maybe Arenado and Goldschmidt don't pick up. I think I'd like it flip-flopped, but I absolutely get what Ollie's doing, and it absolutely makes sense.
How about this? More from Mozeliak earlier today. He referred to Paul DeJong's situation down in AAA as a Wally Pipp situation, saying that who are you going to bring him up and start him over right now? Edman is thriving at shortstop. Gorman is playing well at second base, and if Gorman falls off at second base, you put Donovan there, and you got Yepes, you have O'Neill possibly coming back. There's nowhere for Paul DeJong to go right now.
That's why you put a bow on it all. You talked about trying to get somebody late in July. If he, again, what you hope for him personally and for the club is for Paul DeJong to destroy AAA pitching. Only good things will happen if he does well at AAA.
Yeah. I look at it. Yeah, you can get something back for him, but if the wheels fall off, do you want him there as somebody you can bring up? Do you want that bat there in September to call up and have him there if he is doing well in AAA all year? Do you want to keep him in your organization and then maybe move him in the offseason and see what you can get for him then?
Well, that's a scenario that would work if you feel like you're not getting anything out of Sosa. Tonight would have been a good night to play Sosa, but if you're not going to get anything out of him, if you want DeJong to eventually be a bench guy, which I think is the future of his career, by the way, and I think you could have another good 6-8 years that way, 5 to 8 years, then why not do it now?
And I don't want to I don't want to say this because I know it sounds so wrong to say. So I'm prefacing this by saying this. Do you want DeJong to be a right-handed bat coming off your bench that can outperform Albert Pujols? It hurts me to say it that way. It hurts me to say those words.
Doesn't matter.
But Albert's hitting under 200 later in the season. Do you want to have a different option as a right-handed bat off the bench?
You always want your roster to be as strong as it can be.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
No, absolutely.
And because DeJong can play, because then you would have 3 guys. Now Sosa can play anywhere also, but then you have 4 guys, Edman and Gorman, Donovan, and then DeJong, that you can reconfigure that infield any way you need. You can pinch hit for guys and move them around. But he's not going to play very much, if at all. So if you're not going to play him, or you better move him if there's a value.
Yeah.
Hey, also he's got to hit it AAA.
Also this weekend around Major League Baseball, Ramber, there are some really good weekend series going on. Start out east. You have the Astros and the Yankees. They start a series this weekend. How about Dodgers and Braves? A rematch of the NLCS. And Freddie Freeman returns to Atlanta this weekend. He'll get his ring this weekend before the games begin. And another one to kind of look at, one that maybe flies a little under the radar, Blue Jays at the Brewers. One to watch, not only because it's 2 good baseball teams, but also the Brewers, as we're tied up now, with Cardinals and Brewers tied atop the standings. They have to face a really, really good team, because after these 6 games for the Cardinals, their schedule gets really, really tough.
Dodgers don't have Betts, and that changes their lineup because they have several of their veterans not hitting. It'll be the Braves' top half of their order is really playing well. The Yankees, are just a juggernaut. They've got the right balance of pitching and hitting, and that's going to be a real challenge. And we all become Blue Jays fans now, and they need the bottom of their order to get going as well. There aren't very many lineups that have been really productive top to bottom. It's been an odd year in that way.
Yeah, it's just so funny. You mentioned Betts not in the lineup. You still look at that Dodgers lineup, and it's really disgusting how solid they are, 1 through 9, even missing a guy wrong.
No, if you put their names on a marquee, you're impressed. Their numbers are not good. Turner is not hitting. Muncy is like hitting 180. Who am I leaving out? Those are the main 2 culprits. Betts is out of the lineup. They are not the same Dodger team. They're still good, but that's because of their pitching. And the top of their order is awesome. Even pretty darn good without Mookie Betts. So again, whose top halves will perform against pitching? And the Dodger pitching is still top notch.
Over at Royal Banks of Missouri. Rammer, Royal Banks of Missouri, a proud sponsor of so much of what you have done over the past several years.
Royal Banks over 50 years in St. Louis, and now expanding. Of course, you know about Jerseyville and Granite, and 3 new locations in Northeast Missouri. At all of those places, you'll find that Royal Banks makes your branch feel like your hometown bank. 314-212-1500. That's how you get a hold of the great bankers at Royal Banks of Missouri.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We will talk to you Monday. Enjoy a weekend of baseball from all of us here at ClaibsOnline.com.
St. Louis Acura has almost 200 pre-owned vehicles in stock with inventory arriving daily. and can offer the best trade-in value. While others raise their prices and fees, we choose to earn your repeat and referral business by not taking advantage of the current market situation. We invest in our team, becoming one of St. Louis's top places to work and fastest growing companies. St. Louis Acura remains committed to becoming better than ever for you. Located at Manchester and Mason Roads.